Operator, we have no idea what Ballas is capable of. Please, reconsider this. Why would you risk it? Operator, there is much to be done. Please consult the navigation console.
Weren't you just against me doing this? Well, I guess there's only one thing left to do. Good enough. Also, that's annoying. I can use all other helmets, but I can't use Excalibur Prime's helmet. They're gonna have to fix that. Oddly enough, they don't give him, like, that thing isn't part of his Cyanana? Strange. That's weird. Okay. Fancy smancy! Though again, it is kind of a jape that I can use any other Excalibur helmet other than Excalibur Prime. I'm sure they're gonna fix that, but yeah, my entire wish here has been to mesh the body of Umbra with the helmet of the Prime version of Excalibur. That has been my main goal for Umbra all this time. It's just slightly out of reach, so hopefully they fix that. So I believe that was it. I think there was I thought there was another part that said conclusion, but I believe that was just a trigger to end the quest, I think. Final thoughts. So, Umbra is pretty cool. Umbra is cool. I was not expecting anything other than a skin. There were a few people who were like, oh, this is gonna be a variant on Excalibur who has different abilities. A fucking super jump is coming back. I wasn't expecting that. Just because of what Chinese Frame has, it wouldn't be fair to them. I don't know if Chinese Frame is still running, but if it is, it wouldn't be fair to them for us to have a Excalibur Umbra that is just a completely different variant. It wouldn't be fair to them. It wouldn't be fair to those who just wanted Excalibur Umbra to be Excalibur. So yeah, I wasn't expecting anything like that. They did make a nice addition.
Operator, Ordis wonders, what are you thinking about?
Thinking about muting you again. I forgot I had you turned off. I have a damn good reason for it, so there we go. Anyways, yeah, there was a, shit, I forget what I was talking about. Fucking Ordis! But yeah, I wasn't expecting anything other than a skin, but they went beyond that and they gave Umbra his own unique thing. He is technically a skin, but he comes with his own animation, his own backstory. There's a little change to radial blind, so that's really cool. There might be some other changes that I didn't notice at the time, but those were the ones that I noticed primarily. I could have a hole in my face. Sure. Sure, why not? Does the eyelid animate? But you know what, I can't blame them for that. That's fine. So, for the quest itself, not relating to Umbra, the quest itself, I don't know. I think, purely in terms of lore, we got a lot of stuff. We now know that the Umbra frames, they're not, if I remember correctly, the regular frames and the Prime variants, all they are is that they are basically just meat pies with nervous systems and infested flesh and stuff, given a, they're basically artificial bodies, right? Artificial bodies, and the operators control them via a link, like a mental link. It seems that Umbras, on the other hand, were actual human beings, and they were turned into a frame. And you know, that's something that I think a lot of people thought was the case, and it does make a lot of sense. Like, everyone thought that frames were creatures, or beings rather. This harkens back to before there were operators. Everyone just thought that frames were they were people. They thought they were people instead of armor suits. Even DE thought that for a period of time until they decided to retcon that idea. And I guess they're bringing it back with Umbra, so that's pretty cool. I gotta say though, I'm not really keen on the Lotus still being out of the story. I don't mind the big dramatic twist at the end of her still being under the control. I don't mind that, but I kind of feel like it's time for her to come back. It's been a really fucking long time, don't you think? So unless she's back by TennoCon, which I severely doubt, I don't think they're gonna bring her back until the next story quest. that I'm kind of disappointed in, I have to say. I know there's a lot of people who don't really give a shit about whether Lotus is back or not in terms of gameplay because because Ordis is simulating her. But I do think that her absence has ironically overstayed its welcome. But in terms of lore, really good. Really good in terms of lore. And it told its story really simply. It's very easy to understand what was going on here. In a lot of cases, when this game is trying to tell a story, it's really convoluted. It's kind of like, it has like Dark Souls syndrome where you have to look into other sources of info. You have to look at like item descriptions or look at or read journals or something like that. You have to read a wiki to get an idea of what's going on. But with this quest, they made it clear what was happening, right? They made it clear what was happening. You know, they symbolized that Ballas was, you know, he was putting up a font in front of his son, or in front of this guy's son, this man right here, the man with the fucking glowing green energy on his face right now. Yeah, they made that perfectly clear. They made it perfectly clear what Umbras are. They explained that in a very nice way. It wasn't and it wasn't shoehorned either. It fit the narrative of the quest, I think. So yeah, and this is coming from someone who hasn't read any other opinions. Maybe everyone disagrees with me. I have not read the Reddit. Maybe everyone thinks that this is a crappy quest or whatever. Personally, I think it's fine. I think it's good actually. I'm just not that big a fan of the ending. I do think that Lotus really should have come back at the end. I know that it's like, I know that's kind of like a generic ending, like happily ever after, and even I am like, you know, I'd rather not have happily ever afters in this game. But when it comes to the Lotus, maybe so. But yeah, those were my thoughts.
Tenno, a new alert has begun. It will be marked on navigation.
Hush. So yeah, those were my thoughts. If I would change anything about Umbra, the frame, I would probably, well, they can't really change this now because people are going to be formatting him, so they can't really change it, too late. But I would have probably not gave him forma slots, or polarity slots that were for mods that only go, there's only a few mods that fit that polarity right now, right? Because it's a new polarity. And I would probably also make it so that you can wear Excalibur Prime helmet on the body, but that's a founder's bias, to be completely honest. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And I just have to say again, the fucking Persona / JoJo stand shit is really cool. I think the only thing that they need to do now is make it so that when you go into Operator on the ship, Umbra either moves around or he takes a seat somewhere and he does shit around the ship. That's probably the only thing they have to do, because him just standing here stationary is kind of out of character. I mean, look at this man. Like, nope. Hey. So yeah, probably wanna get on that D.